In case you were wondering what €114 worth of English books look like when you live in Germany, well, wonder no further. Hi, welcome, come on in. My name is Aoife and today I am cracking open my book spending jar for 2024 and showing you what I got from the results. Every single year, for every book that I read, I will put €1 into a little jar so that at the end of the year or at the beginning of the next year, I have got X amount of money that I can go and spend on books or anything else I want completely guilt-free. In 2024, I read 114 books, which amounted to €114 that I could go and spend on anything that I wanted. And obviously, I wanted to buy more books. Most of the books in here are going to be romances, so it felt pretty right that I should show you these on the day before Valentine's Day. First up is Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings. I am kind of interested in this one because it's got all of the vibes of Chuck and Blair's relationship from Gossip Girl. I absolutely lived and breathed Gossip Girl when I was in my teenage years, so I feel like that's the kind of energy I need to bring back. I need back that kind of chaos and slight subterfuge and slight enemies to lovers, but with a load of money at their disposal. I also know that this is Neva from reading one Neva's favorite series at the moment. I think she's read them maybe 3 or 4 times through by this stage, and she's given the first one 6 stars, which is her hallmark of an absolutely phenomenal book. So if it works for her, I'm really hoping it's going to work for me as well. The next book that I got was Primetime Romance by Kate Robb. I haven't looked too far into this, but I think it's about a woman who is transported into the world of her favorite soap opera. During the summer of 2024, I read a book about a woman who was transported into the world of her favorite book series, and it really did not work for me. It wasn't that I didn't enjoy the concept of it, it was that it wasn't written very well. And I was really hopeful about the premise of it. I really wanted to see somebody who was walking along the streets of the book that they had read, but they were now actually doing it in real life. So hopefully it's the fact that it's the premise that really works for me, but the writing that didn't is what's going to draw me in here. I also grabbed a copy of Beg, Borrow or Steal by Sarah Adams. This has been floating around so many times. I know that Chandler from Chandler Ainsley read this in January and she said it was one of the best books that she had read in the entire month. Also, there's somebody I follow on Instagram who put this into the January bracket for their best books of 2025 battle. So now that I have gotten this in my possession, I also have a copy of Practice Makes Perfect, the book preceding it in the series. So I now have to get the entire series finished, and I have no excuses to wait around anymore because I've got the entire series at my disposal. This is something that I wanted to stop doing, by the way. I did want to stop buying a book in a series that I hadn't completely finished out yet, but I have read the first book in the series and I really enjoyed it, so hopefully that's a good omen that I'm going to enjoy the rest of it as well. I am giving an author that I previously said I wouldn't be picking back up another chance. And I don't know if it's because I am a glutton for punishment or if I have just bought into the hype a little bit too much, because everybody on Threads right now is talking about Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. They are saying that this is her spiciest book yet. They are saying that this one really pushes some of the boundaries of what she's written beforehand. I know that this was supposed to be called Wet, and then it's about 2 swimmers. I think one of them is in college, or they're both on the college swim team. And there's supposed to be BDSM in here. There's supposed to be kinks that are explored. And that's something I'm interested in reading. But if Ali Hazelwood does me dirty one more time, and I have a 7-foot man who is getting with a 3-inch tall woman, I genuinely think I'm going to throw myself off the top of the TV tower in Berlin. I'm so tired of her just recycling the same storyline over and over again, but with different character names and different covers. So I'm really hopeful that this one is going to be something different. And in an effort to prove to you that I really want to try and read a little bit more out of my comfort zone when it comes to romance, I am going to try Priest by Sierra Simone. I know that Brie from Four Paws in a Book has really enjoyed this one. I think Brianna has actually read out the entire series, and I am just really intrigued by it. I just really enjoyed Fleabag so much that I feel like if I'm reading Fleabag as a book, but slightly spicier, who knows how this is going to go for me. I also picked up a copy of Nesting by Roisin O'Donnell. This is Roisin's debut novel, but she's really well known in Ireland as a short story writer. She's won a couple of awards in the Irish Book Awards a couple of years ago, and I am so intrigued to see how she's going to translate into writing longer form content. This is about Kira, who decides on a split second one day that she is just going to restart her life. She just grabs a small bag with whatever she can fit into it and escapes her marital home and the clutches of her abusive husband, Ryan. But starting over isn't always as easy as it seems to be. I absolutely love a story where somebody is starting over, be that after trauma, be that after a breakup, be that after losing their job. And this is something that speaks to me so much because it is something that I've gone through a couple of times in my life. So when I see myself being portrayed in the pages of a book like that, it just makes me want to pick it up even more. Back in my YA reading days, I worshipped at Holly Bowen's altar. So when I heard that she was going into adult writing, I knew I had to pick it up. And so I went out and got a copy of So Thrilled for You. This is about 4 women who met each other when they were in college, and they kind of formed a friendship then that has stretched and been tested over time, but is still relatively strong in their 30s. Now, one of them is pregnant and they are hosting a baby shower, but everything kind of turns on its head. The house that the baby shower is in catches fire. One of the women discovers that this isn't the road that she wants to go down on. Another woman feels really let down by her friends and the kind of distance that has been put between them. And the mother at the center of this baby shower is starting to realize that maybe motherhood isn't the one for her. Everybody here is a suspect as having started the fire, and there is no way of trying to figure out who it is. Finally, the book in this pile that is possibly one of my most anticipated books for the entire year is First Time Caller by B.K. Barrison. I utterly fell in love with B.K. Barrison's writing when I read the Inglewood series, but when I heard that she had a series coming out that was all based around the works of Nora Ephron, I knew that it had to be hooked to my veins immediately. This one is going to be based on Sleepless in Seattle, which is one of the best rom-coms of all time. And I am so excited to revisit the world of Sleepless in Seattle, both as a film, so I'm going to watch it, and then when the film is over, I'm going to pick this book up and just dive in head first. I cannot wait to see what the other 2 books in this series are going to be like, but I know that this is such a great way to start. Thank you to my 2024 reading. Those are the books that have just recently come onto my TBR pile. Are there any of those that you think that I need to start with? Or has the idea of saving a little bit of money for every book that you read started to sound like a good idea to you? If you would love to leave me a comment but you can't think of anything you'd like to say, then just leave me the money bags emoji. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.